You want to see a magic trick? Ooh, abracadabra. I like to say it. How is everybody? We're all back for another weekly recap number 50. Holy shit. But it's actually like 48 or 49 because I can't count. And, well, I'm also a genuine asshole. So, yeah, we're back, folks. And we got the lovely Kate from Nerd with a Cigar with us. How are you, Kate?
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, of course. And we have the ambassador from the ambassadorial wing. How are you, sir?
Blah.
Blah. Exactly, blah. And we got some topics for you, folks. I mean, we got Rachel Zegler. Again, that bitch just won't go away. She's more infamous than famous at this point, folks. We also have something about France and playing musical chairs with their government. Hot potato as well. We got some stuff going on about, GLAAD, as in the GLAAD people, with some, they have been exposed. We also have, what else do we got? I mean, geez. Harry Potter. Yep. And, we're going to be discussing a bunch of men in tights. So, yeah. So, enjoy.
Which we all know is Kate's favorite thing.
Yes. Yes, it is. All right. So, actually, we are going to start with Kate's topic, the one that she asked about, France government imploding and essentially playing hot potato. So, for those of you who are unaware, besides of the news that Notre Dame Cathedral has been reopened and the Pope is an asshole for skipping
Which
out,
was like cool.
because Trump
Which was
is
good
there.
news. The church opening, not the Pope being an asshole part.
That's the good news. The restoration and reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral. The bad
Which should have
news,
been like a unifying thing, you know, like.
Oh, definitely, but it hasn't.
Yes.
I mean, have you seen Emmanuel Macron's his X-rays?
Yeah.
Apparently, something happened to his hand that I was unaware of. Did somebody shoot his hand or blow up his hand or something?
I don't know.
Because
Maybe.
two of his fingers are down here on the hand, and one of his fingers the tip is separated from the rest of the bone, and his hand looks like something that
it looks
spilled
like
in toxic waste.
It looks like Palpatine's face from The Rise of Skywalker.
It's funny too, like the handshake between Trump and him, and it was like this weird powerful. Like, did you guys see that? Where it was like,
this weird handshake. And stuff. He's like, "How are you doing, you son of a bitch?"
Yeah, and Trump had his like elbow like way up, and it was just, it was like, I got secondhand embarrassment for Macron by watching that. I was like, oh, this is weird.
It's like, Jesus Christ, this man is going to crush my hand. Yeah. Somebody should definitely turn that X-ray into a meme when after you shake Trump's hand.
Yeah, right. And then you get your hand.
Our president-elect is taller than I am, and that's saying something. I mean, it's like if I ever met the president, I would actually have to look up to him. So yeah. But so apparently, folks, the Republic of France is hop skipping and hopscotching on different versions of a republic.
Yeah.
And they just can't decide on what to do. It's like, how about you all sit your fucking asses down and copy our original constitution and start from there.
Well, and they've had an interesting road recently because the leader of the conservative, or quote unquote, how Americans would call conservative party, is Marine Le Pen, and she wants to like stop immigration and basically like close France's borders. And her party's called the far right. Now like there's like 7 or 8 parties, I want to say, in France, and like her party was getting like 30, like the majority of the vote, and the majority of the vote is like 30%, 30% of the vote. But there's like 2 parties that join teams, and there's like a new front to like stop her party from getting the majority. And so like the distribution in their parliament looks insane. And then like Macron is a different party than Michel, I forget the guy's last name, it starts with a B, who was the prime minister. And so he had to
Michelle
step
B.
down.
We'll just say Michelle B.
Yeah, Michel, I forget what party he was in, but they're all in different parties.
Wouldn't it be
Like,
pronounced Michel because he's a dude, not a chick?
Well, Michelle,
yes, I was doing.
it's fucking
I was
France.
just.
Who cares?
I was just doing a more Americanized I. Yeah, it's
We don't
Michel.
respect them. They have no government. So it's Michelle.
I respect them. I used to live there. I love France.
I know,
But
I'm joking.
it's just it's a little insane because you'd think by like the Fifth Republic they'd have their shit figured out, and it's like crazier than ever. So it makes me kind of chuckle. I'm like, guys, you just had this like beautiful moment where your like most famous church opened back up. Like, come on. Like, I'm not even Catholic and I was excited for that, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, Notre
I'm
Dame.
Catholic, and I was
Got burnt down from a fucking cigarette. Somebody tossed a fucking cigarette in Notre Dame Cathedral and the fucker blew
That's
or
what they say.
burned down. And
what
when
they
I
say.
heard about it, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? All that is one of the oldest cathedrals. So you
Yeah.
sons of bitches.
Well, they are French. What do you expect? And besides, you're really surprised that they still can't get their crap together. Go watch the video on Oversimplified about the French Revolution. They changed the freaking calendar.
Oh my god.
Well,
The wonderful thing about France,
a
they do
country
know how to
that-
throw a revolution.
They A, know how to throw a revolution. They B, know how to like stick it to the man. Like the whole history between England and France is hilarious to me because it's basically like France just pawned off their Nordic invasion on them, and they're like got mad at each other, and then they started a bunch of wars for like hundreds of years. But like up until World War One, France's like KO ratio, or like, you know, the ratio of like winning wars was positive. Like they were winners, and then all of a sudden they like lose 2 wars and their countryside gets eviscerated, and now they're like the laughing stock of the world. I'm like, man, what happened to you guys? Like, what happened to France, man? They really getting like shafted, but it's kind of their own fault. So
Yes. So let's just sit here and mock them and laugh at them because, well, they deserve it because they're all stupid and they have 10 million parties and all the parties are dumb as rocks.
except Marine Le Pen's.
Well,
She's
that could be
actually, like-
that could be argued
She's actually
too.
like, hey, I want to do things. She's kind of like saying the same stuff, similar things to Trump. Is like, hey, let's have things work for French people. Let's have things, you know, let's close the border and be safe, and you know,
Well,
just
you know
like
what she-
logical fucking things.
Hey, you know what she needs to do? She needs to get a lot of the French generals on her side. She can get the military on her side. Then she can go to the rest of the parties and say, guess what? I have tanks and soldiers. You're going to do what I say. If you don't like it, well, I have tanks and soldiers.
That's
You want to know
called,
what France really needs to do?
that's called the dictator.
France needs to bring back the guillotine.
Yes.
I mean, we should have
Or
a
is it with-
guillotine over here.
Or as they called it, the national razor.
I would say, yeah, definitely bring back public hangings because I think morale would improve just overall.
No, don't bring back hangings. Hangings is too barbaric. Definitely bring
Really?
back chopping,
But chopping
people's heads
off people's
though.
heads is not barbaric. Hanging
it's
is too
quick-
barbaric. But seeing somebody decapitated.
But hey, you get a nice spurt of blood. The head goes in a bucket, and you can have a nice party afterwards because you already
And
have
here's
a
the fun
deck.
thing.
That's
here's
not
the fun
barbaric.
thing.
But me saying public hangings,
But, well,
that was
The
far.
reason why I say in America hanging is a little bit too barbaric is because of the fucking. It's because of the. You know why? I'm not even going to say it, and neither is anybody else. But the whole thing is,
Yes.
folks, when it comes to the reason why they ended the guillotine is because they found out that separation of head from body, you're still alive for another 7 minutes.
I don't care.
That's the one. Or
What?
me, I was going to tell a very dark joke.
Dang,
Basically,
that's too bad because one of my favorite paintings is the one where somebody's holding up, it's like of the revolution and somebody's holding up like
ahead.
either the king or the queen's head over the people and they're all like, yeah. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
revolution.
She's
Good.
or her brain has enough oxygen in it to where she is alive and in agony.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes. But
and
it's like that
Qu-
painting goes hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like
well,
Goes
you
even
know
the
what?
harder
ambassador
now.
said, France
Marie
knows how to
Antoinette
freaking
had it coming, and she deserved it. They
yeah.
called her
And so did,
Madame Deficit. She was a cold,
yeah.
unfeeling witch, and she got what she deserved.
Yeah, I agree. And so was Louis XVI. Louis XIV was worse, but the 16th.
What the hell ever happened to Louis the 14th? I mean, I knew there was a Louis the 13th and a
He
Louis
died.
the 15th. What happened
He
to
died.
Louis
The
the 14th?
14th, the Sun King, he died.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, they died. They just died.
Boy, you're really black pilled tonight, Ambassador. Are you okay, buddy?
Yeah,
Not
are you
really.
good?
No,
Blink
not really.
twice if
But
you're
I'm here,
okay.
so let's do this.
All right, let's move on, shall we? Harry Potter, folks. A beloved
Harry
movie
Potter.
series and book series. I
Yes.
like it. And I even like the movies. They're adaptations. Except for the third one, that movie sucks. Because they changed the grounds of Hogwarts for the worst. Because if you watch the first and second one, flat ground. Then, well, yeah. The rest of them came along. I
Yeah, there
still
was some
like them,
inconsistency there. Yeah.
but we got this thing from Geeks and Gamers. As much as I call their asses out for being a bunch of egotistical, I still do find them to be slightly informative. So, yeah, let's share this. Not going to need audio. But apparently, we all know that Max, you all know that Max is getting, well, they're getting their Harry Potter reboot. And it turns out that this guy, Papa Ciedo, I have no idea how to pronounce this. This gay black dude in England, apparently they are tapping for Snape. And I'm thinking, this is such a bad idea. This is one of the worst ideas I have ever seen because last time I checked, this man was not described well in the books. Greasy, well, constantly
He had a
hating on a
hooked
kid.
nose and he looked sallow. Yeah, like he had a hook nose. He was always greasy. His hair was like shoulder length and dark.
Yeah.
He was always described as pale. So I'm confused as to how you can look
Yeah.
at the guy on the left.
Well,
Think pale.
the thing you have to remember is if they can screw up the characters in Rings of Power, well, they can screw up the characters in Harry Potter too, because a very vivid description of a character doesn't matter because they have to shove this crap down our throats, and we can. You know what I say to them? Bite my ass.
Well, here's the thing: J.K. Rowling is working with them, and
Yeah.
she apparently
Well,
is
she's
saying that this is a
woke,
good idea.
though.
Well,
Yeah, a lot of
then,
I
people
think
forget that.
forget
A lot
that
of people
she's
do
woke.
forget that.
Like just because
J.K.
she's
Rowling-
not woke about like women being women, because
Yeah, she's
women
the
are
first wave
women,
feminist.
yeah,
and
yeah.
a woman is an adult human
But yeah,
female.
that woman
just
is
so we're all
incredibly
clear.
woke, and it's like, are you fucking serious?
Other
Yeah.
than that,
What's next? A
she's
transgender
super woke.
Hermione,
Probably.
or
Wouldn't surprise me.
maybe the Black Weasleys? Holy shit! Yeah, Black Weasleys. More ginger side.
Oh, no, don't make the poorest family the black family. That would
Oh,
bring
go
out all-
ahead, do it. Do it, please do it.
Fucking do
No,
it.
here's the
They'll
thing,
completely.
if
They
you-
will completely tank the show with just that one decision. And you know what? I say do it. Go ahead. Make the Weasleys. Make the Weasleys all African American or whatever. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead, X you.
Or make,
or
make
go
the
ahead, X.
Malfoys fucking black. I mean, you liked all this fucking gender and race swapping. Fucking do this shit. Fucking do
No.
it. Show that
Here's
you're
what
not
would be the
afraid to
nail
do
in
it.
the coffin. Make Hermione black, and then every time she's called Mudblood, Ooh, like make her mixed race.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Make
even
Make
better.
her mixed race, and then have
Yeah,
Malfoy call blood. Like, do it.
yeah.
I dare you, HBO. I dare you.
Come
I
on,
fucking
Max,
dare
go ahead,
you.
do it.
We fucking dare you. We all three of us.
I'm gonna watch it
We're
just to
gonna give him
see
an
how
Afro
much they mess it up.
sneakers and a hip hop theme song.
Turn to
That'd be
page
fucking
394. 4. Toots, toots, toots.
And the thing is,
Yeah,
apparently this guy is gay. So does that mean that
I
he's
don't
gonna be
care.
going hard after James and not Lily?
Probably.
Well, he's also an actor, so he can play a straight man. I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can, you know.
And here's the thing, folks.
But maybe
Usually
he
I'm
might
the
be going
objective one.
for
She's being
Dumbledore,
more objective than I am right now.
which is saying something because I'm usually more
Yeah.
emotional about stuff. I'm I don't care about race swapping if you do it like okay, you know, and it doesn't affect the character or the story. Changing race in a very 1990s British from the 90s
80s and 90s, yeah.
change it would completely change people's stories, and Harry Potter's already pretty diverse. We've got Indian English characters, you've got
Kingsley
Cho Chang,
Shacklebolt.
Kingsley
got black characters
Shacklebolt.
in there too.
Honestly, this guy
I
would be
love Kingsley
great as
Shacklebolt.
Kingsley Shacklebolt. This guy would be great as Kingsley
Yeah.
Shacklebolt.
No,
He's
because he
young enough.
looks like he looks like a panty waist. Kingsley Shacklebolt was a man's man.
He was
Okay,
bulky,
but
yeah,
Geeks and
he was more
Gamers,
masculine.
I'm gonna say Geeks and Gamers picked the most like worst photo of him. They didn't pick
Possibly.
the photo of him like looking a little bit
This
more.
guy does not look particularly
Snuggle.
photogenic.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying
mean,
Geeks and Gamers very like picked a they picked a photo that didn't
Look, we had Alan Rickman, freaking Alan Rickman, one of the best actors out
Rickman.
there in his
sorry.
Rickman, whatever. I still respect the guy, even if I don't pronounce his name. I have more respect for a late Alan Rickman than I do for this nobody. And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's black. Alan Rickman was a absolutely phenomenal actor. What has this guy done? He's going to be potentially Severus Snape in a very short-lived Harry Potter adaptation series, which is going to tank harder than the freaking Acolyte. Just saying.
Yeah, folks, they're supposed to be making this multi-episodes for a single season for a book.
They won't get past the first chapter.
I mean,
and it's just like backwards the way that they're doing TV now. It used to be you'd have to, and I think we've
you have to
talked about
catch them
this
with the
before.
pilot. You got to catch them with the pilot.
Yeah, right. And now they're like, no, we're going to develop this 10-season thing, and then we're going to see if it catches on. Like, no, make your pilot, cast who you want to cast, try to sell it to HBO and try to sell it to people, and do it the normal way. Because I feel like this is why everything like on TV's quality is going to shit. Is like, there's not like, they're like, oh, let's do all this stuff, and they put a bunch of money into it, and then like they don't get like outsiders going, actually, this isn't as good as you think it is. Yeah.
I mean, here's the
but
thing. In all seriousness, folks, I'm not going to watch it. I would prefer. I'm going to stick with the movies. I honestly believe that they should do at least one more frickin' Fantastic Beasts movie to conclude the fight between Albus Dumbledore and Grindelwald, which was what the whole thing was actually ending up for. Unfortunately, Secrets of Dumbledore didn't turn out as well as they would hoped. But the problem, but with this, with a Black Snape, it's just a bad choice. This kid, and I do believe the Soul Assassin has a point here. I think it's done for the studios to gauge the reactions of the fans. Well, here's the thing. The fans don't
I hope
want
so.
this.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
The fans don't want this because here, folks, they're sick. They haven't been paying attention. We're wise or the people have wisened up. Now, yes, you got us who like to go on YouTube and actually talk about it. But believe it or not, the people who don't have YouTube channels, the general audiences, they're even getting sick and tired of this.
Yep.
And they are actually saying this. It's like, Hollywood's gotten boring. You guys keep on doing this and that with race and constantly making white people out to be fucking assholes and whatnot, which is a perfect segue to our next thing. But before I do, anybody's final thoughts on this?
It's
I'm
a
gonna
horrible
just
idea, and I hate it.
sort of hate watching it. Yeah. I hope
I
I
hate
hope
watching
this is just rumors, and this is not. Hopefully, this is like Kingsley or somebody else or
They
something.
want him to play Snape. This isn't a sure thing, folks. They want him to
Right.
play Snape. Yeah.
And maybe maybe I'm just a hater, and he's gonna do an excellent job, and maybe he is Snape, and he's gonna knock it out of the park and do an amazing job, and hopefully I'm wrong, but don't
I
piss
mean,
off the fans of this. Come on, don't do it.
yeah. I
Too
mean, don't
soon.
get me wrong, folks. If you do race swapping and you do it right, people will have no problem. I had no problem with the black Nick Fury because, well, comics actually, the Ultimates did have a black Nick Fury. Also, I had no problem with a black Heimdall, even though Norse mythology he was very much white and all-seeing and whatnot. But honestly, I thought he did a good
Or
job.
red being
as he
black
was.
and
Yep.
yeah, red being black and shoot, why can't I think of the name?
I don't know.
You guys know what I'm talking about. The
I have no
movie
idea what
about
you're talking about.
no Shawshank Redemption. There we go.
Oh,
Shawshank
yeah.
Redemption. Red is race swap.
Oh yeah, he was one of the first race swaps. But
Yeah, but it was
but
Morgan
folks,
Freeman, so who cares?
yeah,
Right.
it was Morgan Freeman. You're right, exactly. It was Morgan Freeman. Who cares? But the thing is,
So
folks,
hopefully this guy's performance is so good that we're like, all right, who cares? He's black, but whatever,
exactly. If they
Hopefully.
can do that, people will not have a problem. The thing is,
Right.
Hollywood has just kept on pushing identity politics ever since they tried punishing the American people for the 2016 election. And yes, there is the correlation. It is easy to spot. Once Donald Trump ran for president in 2016, Hollywood lost their shit. And they decided to label this man a racist and freaking call him all sorts of vile shit. And then they said, well, because he won president, we are going to punish the American people for electing this man, even though he didn't win the popular vote at the time. That was Hillary's small triumph. But now that he does have the popular vote and whatnot, I guess they are probably going to just double and triple down. Good to see Price is Right review. Always happy to see
Hey,
you.
Price.
For me, a black Snape is simply another example of anti-white racism due to Hollywood being caught hating white several times. And you know what? That will lead us into our next topic, which is Disney Insider confirms anti-white agenda from GLAAD. So, yeah, we got this from Fandom Pulse. Shout out to the boys and gals over at Fandom Pulse. This one is from John F. Trent. Star Wars Insider alleged that Disney confirms with GLAAD, all right, maybe not confirms, or alleges that Disney works with GLAAD to push evil anti-white agenda and hates their own audience. So let's get into this. Star Wars Insider has shared new details that Disney works alongside LGBTQ plus lobbyist group GLAAD to push an anti-white agenda. YouTuber Endymion shared what his Star Wars insiders told him. First, he detailed how Disney looks at its audience. From what I told Disney, from what I was told, Disney looks at paying customer base into specific groups. There's the modern audience. That's the one they want to cater to more than anything else. And there's what they call the problematic audience. That's me and likely you as well. Or as I was told by these sources, Disney is pushing for what they call atomization, is to split the audience up and isolate them from each other. So when you play a game and see all the woke agenda in it, you feel like you're the only one who notices or cares. The problem is people like us are getting together and calling out things like this all the time. So they want to scatter us with the content, or with content they don't want, until we all walk away while consolidating the modern audience, so to speak, instead to form a stronger base going forward into the future. Pretty much they are doing this in hopes that in the future this modern audience becomes its own behemoth, and that it's equal to or surpasses the current problematic audience, until eventually Disney is no longer required to cater to the wants and needs of people they hate anyway. Next, Endymion detailed the activist and lobbyist group GLAAD wields significant power and influence over video game companies at large, as well as major entertainment companies like Walt Disney Company. He shared, while Sweet Baby Inc. is definitely a force to be reckoned with in its own right, there's more bigger fish to fry, or that controls even Sweet Baby from the strings above. The company is GLAAD. GLAAD, as I'm told, has insane amounts of power, and or when it comes to all they want to see in media. So much so that they even stand shoulder to shoulder with places like Disney when it comes to injecting DEI into content going forward. Furthermore, Endymion detailed that Disney despises anyone who is participating in Gamergate 2.0. He relayed one of the biggest problems of this problematic audience is that Disney hates with all of their being is, of course, Gamergate 2. They find the entire movement repulsive, and they are constantly worried that anything and everything they make will get targeted by Gamergate 2.0, claiming that the power of the movement is snowballing to a point where the entire thing has grown into its own being that simply cannot be stopped, he continued. Disney specifically hates Gamergate 2 and wants it gone, but will not give up on DEI or the agenda at large regardless. They truly think they can push these things until we accept them. And that's why they keep on losing money, folks. As for people who are running the show at Lucasfilm underneath Kathleen Kennedy to push this agenda, Endymion identified the company's senior vice president in franchise content strategy, James, I don't know how to say that, and Douglas Riley, the vice president of Lucasfilm Games. Regarding James, Endymion relayed, I'm told he's pretty much Kathleen Kennedy's right-hand man, and whatever he says or votes for speaks for her as well. Beneath James are people like Douglas Riley, who is specifically in charge of the games division side when it comes to Disney and their products. And I'm told, as this really annoyed my sources, is that this board has the ultimate power to completely veto or block anything using their IP from ever coming out. This means if you spend money making something, if Disney doesn't like it, too bad, because you have zero say, even though Disney themselves has not really spent a single cent on the project that you have been making for all this time. Amid providing details about Quantic Stream's upcoming Star Wars Eclipse game, he revealed how Endymion revealed Disney's DEI agenda has affected it. I was told by sources Disney is very hellbent on ensuring that Eclipse has tons of non-binary diversity within its characters and world. From what I was told, there was originally about 2 white playable characters in the game, but this has now also changed as well. I wasn't told names of the characters or anything, but there is one white woman in the trailer. This character is no longer a white woman anymore. She was one of the playable characters, but Disney apparently forced Quantic to make her a black woman, citing they were completely against white representation in the game. The only other white character, from what I am told, is a man who ends up getting gravely injured and becomes a cyborg of some sort of robot. Possibly their brain is placed in a droid or something like that. But the point is that Disney, like I said, would not allow Quantic Dream to have any heroic white representation in Eclipse at all. Everyone had to believe or had to be diverse, which is basically just not white, and have some sort of gender identity. And the only two white characters were either erased completely or turned into a robot, as I'm told. This frustrated my sources, who said Disney kept pushing for lots of gender and pandering within Eclipse, even in many instances where these demands, well, they made zero sense at all. Disney made demands to Quantic Dream to enforce things like non-gendered presentation with Eclipse, as well. Okay, you guys need to work on your freaking editing over there as well. What this means is that Disney mandated that Quantic Dream add stuff like male aliens in female clothing and vice versa. What the fuck? They wanted the galaxy to be insanely diverse and just go buck wild when it came to gender identity. Next, Endymion explained why this is happening. As I'm told, a lot of the reason why this sort of stuff happens is because Kathleen Kennedy wants to keep the stuff that she trusts happy with the direction of Disney, who obviously enforces this stuff. He then pointed J.J. Abrams and Damon Lindelof, people who greatly support this agenda and wanted to see more at literally any cost. These various stakeholders in Disney demand gender identity nonsense, so Kathleen Kennedy is appeasing them as best as she can. Jesus, how much more of this is there?
I think we get the gist, honestly.
But yeah, essentially, folks, they are basically saying nothing white is allowed. I'm sorry, but that's racism. That's actual fucking racism. What are your thoughts? We'll start with Ambassador.
Well, I was really excited when that trailer came out a few years ago for Eclipse. I mean, it looked like a game set in a time period that I was absolutely thrilled to play. I mean, we didn't get a whole lot of story per se, but the galaxy looked great. The settings looked great. The character design was very interesting. But now hearing this, well, of course they got pushed back or canceled or whatever, because a bunch of, well, I'm just gonna say it, the alleged game mafia came in and said, yeah, you can't do that. So yeah, I'm not surprised, and I don't want to play this game now. Thanks a lot, Disney. Good job. Good job. And I'm all for having diversity, but I want it to be organic. I want it to make sense. I want diversity of thought, not just diversity of skin tone, for Pete's sakes. But when you've got a bunch of goose-stepping idiots running Disney and a bunch of people behind them telling them, you have to do this or we will not back your project. If Kathleen Kennedy had any backbone, which clearly she doesn't, she would have told those people, go pound sand, we're going to run things the way we want to.
She believes in this stuff. This is what she wants.
Oh, yeah, I know. But if you had somebody else in there and everything running the show, they would tell GLAAD, go shove it.
I mean, that's what they should do.
Yeah. And every other studio out there should do the same. And, I like I've played a few of Quantic Dream's games. So I liked what they've done in the past. But I don't want them being hamstrung and corralled into doing something that they don't see as positive in terms of the storytelling narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole idea of separating out one side of the customer base from another, guess what? You've got one side of the public and everything, the more progressive quote unquote side, the more leftist side saying they're not going to have kids. Guess what? That side of the
That's a
demographic
self-determination.
is not going to have any offspring for them to consume your product. Meanwhile, the other side is going to be like, "Oh, you don't want our money? Okay, fine. We'll take our money and go somewhere else and spend it on things that we actually enjoy, that actually things that we want to watch, things that we want to play, and things that we want to consume."
Yep.
Disney's shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep. I want to address this small thing from Soul Assassin. Humans were a species in Star Wars, not like our galaxy. Skin tone shouldn't matter. And here's the thing, Soul Assassin. From what I understand and what I have always understood of Disney or Star Wars lore, when it came to the human species, they were more evolved than we are.
Yeah.
They actually they basically already went through all of these sort of ideas that we are coming up with nowadays with the whole non-gender shit and all that. And they eventually found that it was a self-terminating concept. It was a flawed concept that really was just not anything that should really be embraced. And they understood that it was nothing that could, or that's what I'm guessing is what they came up with, but that was way early in the galaxy. And after a few thousand years, it became a forgotten concept. And honestly, rightfully so. But yeah, the whole gender identity nonsense that Disney is pushing into this stuff, it's absolutely ridiculous. Kate, is there anything you wanted to add? Or were you done, Ambassador?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Kate?
Yeah, I think Ambassador covered it. The diversity for the sake of diversity isn't even like diversity of thought, or it's just diversity of skin tone. And that's where like the biggest issue is, for me is, they would have a problem if they cast like a white dude as Othello, because it wouldn't make sense to the story. Anyway, I feel like we keep going around in circles with Disney because they keep shooting themselves in the foot, and then we keep calling them out on it, and we keep calling them out on their DEI, and we keep calling them out on racism, and it's like this reverse, racism towards white people, and nothing can be white because white men bad. Like we keep going, and Disney keeps going in circles, and they keep losing money, and it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson? We're not going to see your movies if you keep trying to shove this shit down our throats. Anyway, that's all I got.
Well, folks, thankfully, we have a much smaller article this time because fuck fandom, Pulse, and not fuck them, but fuck, man. I mean, seriously. If you're going to write a freaking novel length article, warn people first, But anyway, last thoughts on this. Folks, I've been saying it for years, Hollywood has a problem with white people. And with GLAAD in the picture, I think GLAAD needs to be disbanded because GLAAD is pushing influence in a way that is very much illegal. Civil Rights Act. Look it up. You cannot discriminate based on the basis of race, sex, creed, or any of that.
Nope.
Because mostly,
unless you're
Orange
white,
and the
and
crew
then
question:
like,
do you
fuck
think
you.
Disney will shut down or rebrand in the future, or what answers do you have? This was something that was actually brought up by Price is Right. They are not going broke anytime soon, because here's the thing, folks. They may eventually try to rebrand, but as long as those in power, like Kathleen Kennedy and these people that were mentioned in the article, until they are gone, and eventually finally give vindication to Doomcock, even though they will probably be out of Disney by the time Doomcock no longer is a YouTube channel. Because we all know that those people are like, oh, she's gonna be gone any second. They're gonna be gone any second. No, she ain't going anywhere. But the point is, folks, people still go to the parks. People still watch the shows. People still get Disney Plus. I got rid of Disney Plus. I completely got rid of it. So I can honestly say I am no longer paying and watching shit on Disney Plus. Even though I wasn't watching The Acolyte on Disney Plus, I actually watched The Acolyte through other means. But the whole point of the matter is, folks, they are not going broke until people fully wisen up to Disney. Now, yes, we have done a lot of damage to them, but there's still so much to do because they are literally a world government unto themselves. Wayland Yutani, real life, just not as powerful, but they want to be, which is funny because they're mostly white people. Yeah, I know, right? Right? But Disney's literally doing the "we will make this and you will like it" tantrum. Yeah, that's basically what they are doing. But moving on to our next one, which is another revisiting to the Rachel Zegler story. Has Rachel Zegler been abandoned by Hollywood, folks? We got another article for you. This comes from That Park Place by WDW Pro. Kate and folks, let me know if I am
Will do. Yeah, your
skipping
audio.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're good so far.
Hollywood turns to Rachel Zegler as Snow White trailer is flooded with dislikes. Yeah, here's the thing, folks. That trailer is getting ratioed to hell. Just like the other one did. I mean, I have the extension. Does anybody, or do you guys also have the extension for dislike checking?
No, I don't.
Kate, do you?
The extension for the
Dislike or to check dislikes on YouTube.
on YouTube, yeah.
Go and look at the recent trailer and see how many dislikes it currently has, if you can, please, while I'm reading this.
The Rachel Zegler. Okay, hold on 1 second.
So it appears that Hollywood is ready to come to the defense of Disney to throw poor Rachel Zegler overboard. It could be a cautionary tale for the outspoken young female stars. The latest the latest Snow White trailer, jeez, I am just dyslexic all of a sudden, has reached a jaw-dropping 500,000 dislikes in just a single day. That's compared to only 22,000 total likes on YouTube. That's at the time of the writing of the article, folks. It looks more and more wise on Disney's part to have held the trailer from true public access until a week after Moana 2 released, whereas much of the movie is the result of Disney's own leadership or lack thereof, Bob Iger may be looking to trash Rachel Zegler and her career in order to get away from the controversy of sliming Walt's original film.
That's not good. You want me to tell you what I found?
What is it?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 11 million views, 100,000 thumbs up, and 1.4 million thumbs down.
Is that the teaser or the most recent trailer?
Oh,
the most recent trailer is days old.
Months ago. 3 months ago. Hold on, let me find.
That's the teaser. That's the 1.4.
That's the teaser. Good leaf. Good
it
grief.
finally reached 100,000 likes, though.
6 days ago. No, that's Mufasa. Official trailer. Here we go. 5.6 million views. 27,000 thumbs up. 700,000 thumbs down.
Good grief.
Wow. Holy
Yikes.
shit.
That's still a huge ratio because 5 million views and only 727,000 people liked or disliked it.
That's because people are still going over to the trailer to hate watch it and shit like that, and just to check. Here's the thing, folks.
Are they getting views from it just like playing in the background as you're scrolling through? Because you know how it starts playing as you're scrolling now.
Once you do, no. If you merely click on it, this is for the main channels like Disney and stuff and Amazon. They get the views merely by clicking on it.
So not if people watch it. So if me coming to this page to look at the comments and look at the dislike, they're getting a view for it.
Yep. That doesn't happen to us though. That doesn't happen to us though, folks. I mean, I just recently found out that YouTube is actively suppressing my content simply because I'm withholding monetizing my channel. That's how fucked up YouTube is. Which I'm
You
saying
want to hear
while
the
on YouTube.
first? You want to hear the first comment on the Snow White trailer?
Yes,
Sure.
please. Yes.
3 days ago, this person wrote, "They finally did it. They made a movie. Nobody's going to pirate."
I hope that's actually true, but I doubt it will be.
Okay, the comments are okay, guys. After you're done commenting on this live video, just for funsies, go over
Go
to
watch the comments. Yeah.
the Disney Snow White official trailer and read the comments, just for funsies. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So let's get back into this. But one upcoming release March's live action has been dogged by expensive reshoots and controversies that related to star Rachel Zegler's social media posts. The actress declined to take down a tweet thread that promoted the $240 million movie. It's more like 300 million, folks. 240 is what it was last projected at before the reshoots that they had to do that put in the Seven Dwarfs. So it's more like 300 mil. But anyway, with a Free Palestine postscript, but did apologize for the F Donald Trump and May Trump supporters never know peace Instagram post. Wading into divisive issues as Zegler has done isn't part of Disney's new playbook. It's Tatiana Siegel from Variety. Rachel Zegler, once heralded as one of Hollywood's brightest rising stars, who hasn't had a single, well, maybe one movie that actually had any sort of profit, but really not really, which was the Hunger Games prequel. She is literally box office poison at this point. But getting into it, is now experiencing
For
an
real, like
unexpected.
who would want to put her to headline a movie going forward?
I mean, she just had a movie that came out called Y2K, which is bombing already.
She did.
Yeah, her other her Y2K movie from A24 just bombed.
Y2K.
But with her live action portrayal of Snow White on the horizon, Zegler finds herself at the center of a whirlwind of skepticism and criticism, as early industry writers suggests the film may struggle to reach its ambitious box office goals. Whereas the fashionable and at one point to take politically divisive positions to the Middle East or claim male heroes and fairy tales were less than aspirational, Zegler now faces a completely different world landscape, and Disney is all too keen to make sure you know it's her, not them, that's against the majority. Here's the thing, folks. You hired her, and you haven't said publicly that she should shut her mouth. Not only that, she didn't apologize. Disney did. They wrote her apology. She copied and pasted. Look at the grammar of each of her tantrum and the grammar of the apology. It's very different. Spielberg critically acclaimed West Side Story, at just 20 years old, her performance garnered rave reviews, earning her a Golden Globe for Best Actress. By the way, folks, she wasn't invited to go there because she was coming across as a narcissist in the interviews and stuff, but she whined and bitched about it online and people started noticing and whining to the Academy, and then they ended up giving her an invite. That's how she got to the award ceremony. It was the role that showcased her extraordinary vocal talent, emotional depth, and undeniable screen presence, cementing her as a star to watch. Unfortunately, her ability to handle public relations as well as her lack of relatability would be her undoing. Her journey to Hollywood fame began with a rather unconventional way. Zegler was discovered via a casting call on Twitter for West Side Story. Her natural charisma and vocal prowess, evident even in her audition tape, catapulted her from New Jersey high school student to an overnight sensation. She was in high school at the age of 20? Yikes. Following the success of West Side Story, didn't that movie bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, That's not a success. Zegler was quickly cast in high-profile projects such as Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and the upcoming Hunger Game prequel BSS. I'm not saying the full fucking name. None of these projects succeeded at the box office. However, even with Hunger Games title being the lowest ever for the franchise. When Disney announced Zegler as the lead of their live-action remake of Snow White, the choice seemed a bold and progressive move by those who wanted Disney to be a socially activist company for the left. Zegler's casting represented a modern reimagining for the classical character, aligning with Disney's ongoing efforts to diversify its princess lineup. However, the project had been plagued by controversy from the outset. Critics and audiences have raised questions about the film's direction, its substantial budget, the creative decisions behind its production. Recent reports suggesting that the film may need to gross over $1 billion to break even, a staggering benchmark in today's box office landscape, especially for a film that lacks a built-in franchise or a built-in fan base of franchises like Marvel or Star Wars. Some outlets are trying to downplay the number to be closer to 600 million. But even then, they're rather hopeless than it can accomplish the task. Adding fuel to the fire, Zegler has faced backlash for her comments during promotional interviews, while her remarks such as modern take on Snow White character arc audiences critics of outdated fairy tale tropes were intended to resonate with contemporary audiences. They have instead polarized fans. Some have praised her candor and progressive stance, while most others have accused her of being dismissive of the original story's legacy. That was of the original teaser, folks, the 1.4 to 99K. The stakes for Snow White are undeniably high. If the film underperforms, Zegler risks being unfairly scapegoated for its failures, despite the myriad factors, including marketing, script, and direction, that contribute to the film's success. On the other hand, if the film succeeds, it could serve as a powerful comeback narrative, solidifying her position as a Hollywood A-lister. The chances of the latter are slim and slimming quickly. Rachel Zegler's career is far from over, but being tossed under the bus by Disney at the trades may mean she lands as a Broadway player rather than a regular on the silver screen. So yeah, folks, it's very clear that this woman has made herself hated. It's very clear that Rachel Zegler has come up with a bunch of things and said a bunch of stuff. But here's the thing. When it comes to the disparaging of the original, she is not the only one who did that. Gal Gadot did the very same thing. She's not going to be saved by the prince. She doesn't need to be. And this is a very modern take on the story and women empowerment and all that other shit that the original just didn't do, when the original actually was one of the greatest female empowerment movies ever, and was the first animated to ever win an award, I believe, or was nominated for an award, I believe.
It won an Oscar, and you can probably look up pics of it. When they did the Oscars for Snow White, they had the main statuette, and then they had several other smaller statuettes. So it did win the Oscar.
I want to respond to this, right? There is the way they measure profit in box office is that, I will get to your questions in a moment, Nizak. The way that they measure profit is or if they go above the break-even mark, you have to make twice your budget in order to be considered profitable. Twice your budget. Meaning, if you make $1 million or two over the break-even point, they don't consider that making a profit. They consider that still breaking even. Which I believe is the case for Ballad of Songbirds or BSS. They didn't hit that mark that actually considers it a profitable margin. So I'll say total. So I'll say a total of one movie that starred Rachel Zegler didn't fail. One movie out of 4 or 5 right now. But Snow White isn't going to bump her record up to 2. Needs a miracle. Here's the thing: once this movie fails, she will be seen, or this movie is most likely going to lose a $500 million plus. That is my prediction. And if I get it wrong, I'll admit that I got it wrong. And yes, as the movie's budget was $100 million, the box office was $349 million. Here's the thing: when you do marketing, general consensus is 2.5 times. So it needs to basically make what, 250 plus another 350 million. Minus 349 million. Now, obviously, it could have just been done, but you also got to take into part the Chinese box office taking 90% of the take, or 90% of the till, for their box office margins. You also got to take into account that the box office margin that Disney also takes 90% of the till for the first week or two, or not Disney in this case, but Ballad of Songbirds, their studio would take 90% of the till. So yeah, that movie most likely didn't make a lot of money. Speaking of Zegler, I heard that Rachel or Y2K movie. Yes, I did see that. Orange in the question: which CGI is worse, Scorpion King from Mummy Returns or the Dwarves of the Rachel Zegler Snow White?
Dwarves.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, they have a lot more ability to make convincing looking dwarves, and those things look horrid. As with the Scorpion King for the Mummy, that was kind of a rush job, and the CGI back then wasn't as good as it is now. So I'm willing to give them a little more leeway with the Scorpion King than I am for the dwarves.
Also, The Mummy Returns is a likable movie, so we're likely to forgive silly CGI.
Yes.
This isn't a likable movie, so we're not willing to forgive these little,
I mean,
oopsies here.
here's the thing, folks.
There's plenty of things I'm willing to, if the story's good, if you're not being too preachy, if the movie's good or great even, I'm willing to forgive flubs here and there, editing mistakes, little goofs.
We'll
I'm
forgive
willing
that
to
stuff.
forgive that kind of stuff. Yeah, if the meat and the heart of it is good. The heart and the meat of this movie is bad. It's trash. It's rotten. So no, we're not gonna forgive them for their crappy CGI, especially with the budget that you've spent on this movie. Absolutely not.
I mean, folks, here's the thing: Hollywood has a mandate against it, and that mandate was called Godzilla -1, where a $12 million movie had CGI that was infinitely better than Hollywood's current CGI studios. $12 million. And I saw a Godzilla that I could swear was actually in the freaking camera shot. Wasn't inserted through a computer. There were shots where I could have sworn that was a real fucking thing. But when it comes to Rachel Zegler, this woman attacked people, not physically, verbally attacked over half of our country, saying that we should never know peace. And I don't care what everybody says, she is not the one who apologized. Analyzing the grammar of her first and most genuine reaction, folks, the first reaction is obvious, or is most likely going to be the most genuine reaction.
And even if we do accept her apology, let's just say for the sake of argument, devil's advocate, let's say she did apologize, and let's say it's genuine, which I don't believe it is. I've told you how I felt about it. I can forgive you, but I still don't want to go see your crappy movie. You told me exactly what your point is. You told me exactly how you feel. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. I'm gonna stay away from your movie then. Thanks for giving me the heads
And
up.
not
It's
only
kind of like
that,
Rings of Power when they're like, "Hey, if you're a Tolkien purist, don't watch our show." Cool. Thanks for the heads up, bro. Appreciate it.
and not yeah, and not only that, she has made herself deeply unlikable. She has shit on the original Snow White's legacy. And not only that, folks, she didn't even like the original Snow White. She admitted that in an interview. I saw it once and never revisited it because I really didn't like it.
And that, you know what? Here's the thing. That's fine if you didn't like it. If you didn't like it so much, then why'd you accept the role for the remake?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And
allowed to not like a movie. Yeah.
And everybody's saying that they're going after her because of the color of her skin. Is first off, one, it is not racist to point out that her skin is a darker tone. It is not racist to point out the fact that Snow White's origin is or she got her name because her skin was white as snow. Trying to say, oh, the reason why her name is Snow White is because she survived really terrible winters.
Whatever.
That is their excuse this time. So, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. And as for me not like, or it's like, first off, I'm against the choice, not because of her being a darker skin tone. I am against the choice because this woman is everything that the real Snow White isn't or is. She is the opposite of what Snow White is. Snow White is humble. She cares deeply for others.
Yeah.
And she is looking for true love and whatnot.
Yeah.
Where Rachel Zegler, in her first interviews of West Side Story, came off as extremely narcissistic, who bought into the star power before she even had it. She is like a level 1 World of Warcraft player who bought all the goodies and didn't even know what to fucking do with them.
Mm-hmm.
She is that kind of person. You bought into your own freaking mythos of your own perceptions of your mythos, mind you, and you saw yourself as this great progressive champion. All you are is a girl who got a little too excited about getting into West Side Story, and you allowed the star power to go to your head because Steven Spielberg picked you out of Twitter. No offense, Rachel, but you also coming across as an ethot on your own damn Twitter, where you have some shots that actually show your bare breasts, and you are also showing off your ass in underwear, or it could have been a bathing suit, who knows. But the fact that you were doing that kind of shit on your Twitter, or your Instagram, not your Twitter, but your Instagram, yeah, that's not endearing people to you either. That just comes across, oh, great, another fucking slut on Instagram trying to promote her OnlyFans content. It would be absolutely fucking because that is what Instagram is, folks. You go over to Instagram, you will see nothing but fucking OnlyFans chicks flashing the cameras, doing those blink, pause, and you'll miss it shit.
Yeah.
That's all it is now. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of my Instagram because it's like all you guys are doing is
Instagram is literally just like TikTok Reels, and it's not even for photographers anymore. Like,
and not only that, folks, it's literally showing porn.
mm-hmm.
Close to
There's
it.
breastfeeding stuff. Now, breastfeeding is a natural thing. I will admit that completely. But you have a bunch of freaking Instagram people or OnlyFans models promoting their shit on Instagram.
Same with Threads. Yep.
Yeah, same with Threads. And also these pause and you'll miss it shit. They're showing everything in those pauses. So it's like, yeah, this is ridiculous shit. I'm sorry, I ain't interested in that. In fact, tonight I'm probably most likely getting rid of my Instagram. So I am thankful to everybody who has watched my shit on Instagram, the real remixes and whatnot. But I am most likely going to get rid of my Instagram because that's all it is. All it is just a bunch of fucking OnlyFans shit nowadays, and I'm sick of that. I wanted to fucking pay attention to other shit like entertainment shit. I wish I could download that damn clip though, because I loved making those Godzilla X Kong clips where Scar King was roaring and then Kong just comes in and belts him. I had so many great freaking reels of that with different little headings and shit. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But moving on, I believe to our next one, or is there any final thoughts on this?
I'm good.
All right. Well, Men in Tights. So hold on one moment, folks. We are going to be discussing this movie.
I love this movie.
Robin Hood that actually had an English accent.
Yes. Unlike other
Men.
Robin Hoods, unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent.
Yeah.
Carrie Ellis is a national treasure.
Carrie Ellis, definitely. So
and super nice. Like I met him at a comic book convention, and he's just like,
no shit.
Oh,
nice.
Cool. Really nice.
I mean, he can play some of the most asshole characters. Twister, he played a guy that was just he played Jonas, the fucking corporate asshole.
Yes.
He also played the killer in not Along Came a Spider, but Kiss the Girls, the Alex Cross movie.
Yeah.
With Morgan Freeman. Great job in that.
Yes.
Carrie Elwes is serious. Hey, fuck Norris, good to see you, man. I mean, Carrie Elwes, folks, is masterclass in these movies,
Yes.
and he really, he was also in Liar Liar. Oh my god, he was so pathetic in that one.
That's right, he was. Yeah, he was dating the wife, or the ex-wife.
And so,
he played a nice guy in that.
Yeah. He gets shafted at the end of it because it's like, Max, did you wish for your mom and I to get back together? No, I wish for rollerblades. Well, I think we'll still get back together. So, but this movie, oh my god, it was just so freaking hilarious.
Yes.
I watched it yesterday, and Dave Chappelle is a god.
Oh man, true.
Yeah, bless you.
No, that's my name. True.
Yeah. Oh, so many actors in this movie are dead. Isaac Hayes, the guy who played Sneeze.
Sneeze, yeah.
Guy who played Prince John, or
Richard Lewis.
Yep, Richard Lewis. I believe the guy who plays Sheriff of Rottingham is also dead.
Aw.
I mean, I think I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, how would we compare Men in Tights with other Robin Hood adaptations such as the 38, the animated, and well, I like Prince of Thieves, especially the full content of the special edition, the extended edition.
Yeah.
That movie is just freaking brilliant, man. It's like, or when Azim, which is Achu, but now was Azim in the real or the serious story, basically discovers gunpowder. Whoa! Truly, you are a wizard. It's like just fucking hilarious. But in this, Dave Chappelle, holy shit! What was your favorite Dave Chappelle moment?
Sherwood Forest didn't land on us. Or land on us.
Yeah.
That speech where he put on the glasses, the Malcolm X glasses, and he gave the speech. And he's like, dude.
Look at yourselves.
Just look all around.
Yeah.
You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Run muck. We didn't land on Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest landed on us.
Yeah.
Are they?
Kate, what's your favorite Achu moment?
When they're all like in disguise and dresses.
Yeah. Man, I hate these. Don't match my purse. I mean, that was good. My favorite Achu moment was when he raised one of the best references of Mel Brooks movies.
Oh
A
yes.
black sheriff? He's black.
What?
Why not? It worked in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the funny thing, there was a character from Blazing Saddles in this movie.
Who?
The Hangman.
Oh right. The
Same
Hangman.
actor.
Yeah.
The same
Boris.
fucking actor.
Boris.
Who hung a horse?
On a horse.
No noof. It's good noof. I mean,
Yeah. No.
yeah. I love also the beginning of the movie. Why do they always burn down our village in the beginning of every Robin Hood movie? And then it says, written and directed by Mel Brooks. Leave us alone,
Mel Brooks.
Brooks!
I mean, let's be honest here, and let's acknowledge the man who brought us this movie. Mel Brooks was, and will be remembered as a comedic genius.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he wants to do. I don't think he's going to live until or live to see it though. They're trying to do a Spaceballs sequel.
Oh, please let them do it.
It's like
Please.
if you're going to do it right. Do it with the Mel Brooks. Do it with the Mel Brooks formula. Do it with the comedy that nobody fucking cares about. Offending anyone.
Yes.
Offend.
They're not going to.
Yes.
You know that.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie, holy shit, I just love it. It's like, I challenge you to a duel. And then he picks up a freaking gauntlet.
I accept your challenge.
Yeah, it's like, I accept. It's like,
Have you seen you've probably seen the meme of a millennial. I challenge you to a duel, and a Gen Xer picks up the
Gauntlet
the metal
curves,
glove.
yeah,
I accept your challenge.
Yeah, I accept. Also, freaking Richard Lewis's mole keeps on moving. In each
Another
scene.
homage to what movie?
I don't know.
Igor's Hump.
Never.
Young Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
Hang your head in
haven't
shame.
I haven't seen Young Frankenstein in many, many years, so
I don't care.
But I
Hang
have
your head
seen
in
it.
shame. Hang your head in
I'm
shame.
I'm ashamed.
Okay, good. That's sufficient shame. Let's
But
continue.
I also love the best part of this whole movie is freaking Brunhilde, or
Megan
I mean,
Kavanaugh.
yeah, the way that she has to stop freaking. I mean, get the heck out of that thing before, or else it will rust. And it's like, oh, and she's constantly stopping freaking Marion from kissing Robin and whatnot. But the best
She's like Dot
part
Matrix from Spaceballs.
Yeah. The best part ever in this entire movie from Brunhilde. And she's about to jump off. And the horse is like, you've got to be kidding me. And the horse just moves. And she falls on the phone. She breaks the ground. If I was you, I would never do that again. Any questions? It's like, nope.
And then she's riding away. She's going, ouch, woof, each, ouch, ouch.
Yeah, because her ass, she broke her ass on the freaking pavement. But,
well, that
oh
wasn't
my God.
pavement. That was stone back in those days. That would have been like,
yep, that was hard stone.
yeah.
Hard ass. Oh my God. There's just so many damn things. You also get the freaking rappers. I love that too.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, nonny,
How would I compare Carrie
ho.
Osmond's Robin Hood with other Robin Hoods such as Errol Flynn, Michael Praed, Richard Green, Kevin Costner, Russell Crowe, Sean Connery, Sean Connery's was good. I heard Russell Crowe's was actually decent. Kevin
Actually,
Costner, I liked it.
I liked it too.
I liked it. Folks, I'm a Prince of Thieves fan. Not to mention when I first watched that movie, my freaking aunt, holy shit, man. She was a Kevin Costner freak. I mean, she watched the movie fanning herself the entire time. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm young when this movie came out. So it's like, what the hell is wrong with Aunt Jen? Is she getting hot flashes or something? Obvious, but she wasn't, obviously, because, well, she's only 10 years and 11 months older than me. No. Yes. 74. Yeah. She is 10 years and 11 months older than me. I will not allow her to say she is 11 years older than me.
You're like, nope, I'm not counting that 1 month.
You're being as indecisive as Prince John. Okay, to give my 2 cents on comparing the different Robins, and I've only seen Errol Flynn and Russell Crowe. I do not regard Sean Connery's Robin Hood as canon because that movie was ended on such a downer because him and Maid Marian killed the both of them.
Oh,
and that was just a downer. That was just a downer.
Oh, it's a tragic story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, the movie stars obviously Sean Connery.
Wait,
Audrey
she
Hepburn.
kills both. She kills both the sheriff and Robin.
No. She commits suicide, but she poisons Robin because it's Robin Hood and Maid Marian in their old age.
They Romeo and Juliet each other.
Well, she did. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's a downer. I will never acknowledge that movie as Robin Hood canon.
I mean, Sean, I love you, but what the fuck?
I only watched the movie once. I will never watch it again.
Holy shit, man. Sean Connery, for those of you who are new to my channel and stuff, he is my favorite actor. But that's kind of that. Well, you get one of those movies that just is not. I mean, you may love the guy, but apparently he has a couple bad movies, maybe.
Yeah, he does.
Everyone's allowed 1 or 2, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god! I also love when it's like Locksley Castle. No. And fucking
stop the castle,
damn John. Blinken is freaking reading a Braille Playboy. A Braille Playboy, where he can feel the pictures up.
And he fills up a statue, an armless statue.
I love that. Yeah, he's like,
which I like about Mel Brooks is always sneaking in, like, anytime you rewatch any of his films, it's like there's always something to catch.
Something that you missed because you're laughing so fucking hard.
Yeah, because every single second he's putting in a joke everywhere. Like,
you lost your arms in the Crusades. But you grew some great boobs.
It's
like
Kate, me and Orange have been kind of run over. Your thoughts on Men in Tights?
I freaking love it. I just like Mel Brooks movies. I think they're super fun. Anytime, and this happens often, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if, and I'm like, no, they're not going to do it. And the first time watching Mel Brooks films, I had these conversations in my head. I'm like, it'd be really funny if, no, they're not going to do it. And then Mel Brooks does it because he just doesn't care. Like, and it's just that silly humor.
I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to do it.
I don't know. Is it slapstick? It's like over the top. I don't know. Anyway, it's just great. It's
the best humor. It's the best humor.
Right. And everybody knows the story of Robin Hood. So it's a pretty safe bet I think it's a safe one to use where it's like, all right, well, let's make this hilarious because everybody's done Robin Hood. Doctor Who's done Robin Hood. freaking like serious. We've gotten Kevin Costner's Robin Hood. We've got there's good Robin Hoods. There's bad Robin Hoods. There's Robin Hoods in between. There's the animated one from Disney. But Mel Brooks, I think, is one of my favorites
Oh
because
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
freaking hilarious. It's just a fun ride. It's kind of like watching like Monty Python. You're just like, I know I'm gonna enjoy this. I know it's gonna be
Well,
funny. I know I'm gonna laugh. Like,
well, and it's funny. You bring. I'll just say this briefly. You can continue. You bring up Monty Python, and the Holy Grail. In that we had fictional or fake horses. In this one we have fictional trumpets.
Yeah.
and I have a feeling that Mel Brooks probably watched, Holy Grail and
Probably.
enjoyed that humor as well, because you can definitely see, like Ambassador, you said, like just tying it over. You're like, oh, we get fake this and this, and we get fake this and this. It's just the same type of humor, just ridiculousness and being over the
Yes.
top. And Dave Chappelle this was like the prime of Dave Chappelle's
Oh, that
career.
dude doesn't have. That dude is in a constant prime.
Yes.
He's in a constant prime.
He's in perpetual prime.
He's just prime. He's on his way to another prime as we speak.
Yeah. Holy shit, man! But he was awesome in this one too. It's like,
But it
Well, my-
was. I think it was hot and fresh off of Dave Chappelle show, wasn't it?
I believe
Around
so.
that same time.
97.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
And
there. Yeah.
it was just
He gonna
like
deflower her in the tower.
the comedic timing was perfect. Like it's almost as if when you get a stand-up comedian in a comedic role,
It worked.
It was all comedians.
it works. It does work because you can't take dramatic people and put them in comedies. Sometimes they just they miss the mark.
Yeah.
And some people are just really good at comedies. Like Channing Tatum, I think he's good at comedic roles. I think he just understands timing. When you get people like Dave Chappelle, I don't think Mel Brooks had any difficulty with him, directing him.
Oh
or whatever.
no.
Yeah.
Well, considering that he used to work with, or well, briefly worked with, Richard Pryor. So.
Mhm.
Take it easy,
Right.
Izzo. Thank you for coming in.
And also,
Very-
just last point, even the photo, like the cover and the photo that you have, like this, if you want a picture that accurately represents Mel Brooks's Men in Tights movie, it's
Yeah.
this, because you're just like, first of all, how? That's ridiculous, but it's also funny. Like it's
Well, and
that's
not to
Mel
mention.
Brooks' movie, and
Sorry.
and
Go ahead.
we don't get that kind of humor in films nowadays, where it's as lighthearted and it actually brings a genuine, laugh.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing, because they actually have that moment happen in the movie.
And it happens
Where they-
early
where
on
they've-
in the movie. Too. It's like,
Well, right
Oh.
after he saves a Chew, and the one guard stays behind, he's like, "You haven't seen The Last of Us," and then Robin takes out the bow and takes off takes the arrows and just drops them down. And you've seen The Last of Us,
okay,
Yeah.
you've seen The Last of Us.
and the Macaulay Culkin kid.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Also, the illiterate sheriff of Nottingham,
No, not illiterate,
or
dyslexic.
Rottingham. Yeah, dyslexic, verbally dyslexic. I mean, he's.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
Over that boy hand.
yeah, over that boy
What?
hand.
What?
You're like, wait, what?
Hand over that
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh my god, dude, seriously. But notice how that actually died out later in the film.
It did?
You didn't have a problem speaking after.
Yeah, it
guess
was
not.
only in the beginning, or in the
I
first
guess so.
scene or two.
Yeah. Also, Dom DeLuise as
As
freaking Don,
Don Giovanni. Yeah.
What's up? It's like, oh
Both
my God,
say,
dude.
both say. And then he
Wow,
takes the
well,
golf
it's
cotton
going-
balls out of his mouth.
Yeah. This thing. Oh my god. Well, make an offer he can't refuse.
And his two
It's nice-
associates.
It's nice to hear you in a better mood, Ambassador.
Definitely.
Well, I like this movie. This movie.
Yeah,
fits me
no,
better.
I
Oh
agree.
my
I
God.
like.
His two associates, one looks like fucking
Clint
Clint
Eastwood,
Yeah.
Dirty Ezio,
Yeah, Dirty Ezio. And the other one, God.
Filthy Luca. Filthy
Yeah.
Luca.
Filthy Luca.
I will take these cotton balls from you with my hand and place them in my pocket.
Yeah. It's just freaking hilarious.
Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite musical number in this movie?
Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Men
Okay.
in Tights. I can
Okay.
sing that whole damn thing. I'm not going to
can I.
because of copyright.
But yeah.
Okay, what
Men in
about
Tights
you?
for sure. Yeah.
Because honestly, yeah, every time I watch this movie, I skip over Maid Marian's solo. I'm like,
Yeah. I
no,
mean,
just no.
it's like, no. Yeah.
Although I will say, the Night is Young and You're So Beautiful, where
Yup.
serenading
Sword
Maid Marian,
comes up.
that's a good one too. That's a good
Sword
one
comes
too.
up, everybody's like, yeah. And it's like,
And
then
I'm in love with you.
And then a sword, or it shows that a sword is the thing, and it's like, and everybody's like, oh. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
man,
the
holy
it's the
shit.
scabbard. It's the scabbard
It's a
for
scabbard.
not
Yeah.
his.
Well, oh my god. Men in Tights when Blinken accidentally punches both Will Scarlet and Little John. But don't get us wrong, or else we'll put out your light. It's like, it's like, fuck.
We're men. We're men
Yeah.
in tights. Always on
Tights.
guard to defend their people's rights.
But yeah,
We're men.
we can't
We're
go
men
on
in
any further.
tights.
No
That's where
more.
I was gonna
Dude.
stop. Just chill, dude.
Well, dude, seriously, they don't take.
Copyright.
Yes, I know, but
Yeah.
it's only if you have the music playing in the background more so than the
No,
lyrics.
no.
No, they'll
it
get
isn't.
you if you're singing
You
it
sing
too.
it.
Well, either
They'll get
way, okay, I get it.
But
Quit
yeah.
harshing my mellow.
Did you just pull a sheriff of Rottingham?
No, I said quit harsh. No, I said quit harshing my mellow.
Marshing your schmello.
Harshing my mellow.
I've
I'm
never
I know.
heard that,
Let me
so I'm
hear you
guessing
say it
he's
again.
probably pulled a sheriff. I've never heard it
Harshing.
like that before. I'm sorry.
You haven't?
No, I've never heard harshing my mellow.
Huh.
Mellow is a mood, and you're harshing it because you're being disruptive. You're being
Well,
unmellow.
I'm about to harsh
protecting my
all of
channel.
y'all's mellow.
I
I'm
wasn't
harshing
gonna
all
sing
y'all's
the whole song, you
I
goober.
know, but even a little bit can get you hit
Oh,
or get the strike. I'm not
Quit
joking,
be-
man.
quit being such a pansy ass to YouTube.
Anywho, I gotta get going, gentlemen. I got a little kiddo to take care
Well, we will call it here anyway. So
Yeah, we
Thank
discussed
you
it
for-
thoroughly.
yeah, we can, I mean, going any further.
Oh, one
Watch the
more
movie, folks.
one more note. Richard the Lionhearted,
Yep.
played by the
All
other
right.
notable great British actor, Patrick Stewart.
All right.
Mm.
So thank you to everybody who tuned in on X, and thank you to everybody who was on YouTube, and well, Nerd Ambassador, Assassin, Price is Right, Vanya, Norris, and everybody else. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Next week, we are going to begin a trilogy of movies for the Sunday recap. We are actually each Sunday we are going to discuss of the Robert Langdon trilogy, starting with the 3-hour version of Da Vinci Code.
I hate you.
So, I love that movie.
Oh, I like the movie. I just hate you.
Well, I love you too, buddy. But
I
anyway,
know.
folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Tuesday, I will be discussing the movie The Avengers as part of the theme stream of Under the Radar films. It's
Yes.
not the Avengers from 2012. It's the one from
Yeah.
90s or from the 90s with
Yes.
Fiennes and Thurman and Sean Connery. So,
Hubba
yeah.
hubba.
But
I
anyway,
placed the hubba hubba at the wrong place.
right, definitely. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. My voice is actually going a little bit. So, any of you guys have anything to plug before we go?
No.
All right. So we'll call it here, folks. You all have a wonderful day and stay humble.
Are you done? Are you done?